You trusted them, and that was not the mistake. The mistake was believing that trust makes people worthy of it. Some of the deepest wounds in your life did not come from enemies. They came from the person sitting at your table, smiling at your face, and quietly hoping you would fall. Marcus Aurelius knew this, not as a theory, as a lived reality, and what he discovered about human nature will change the way you see everyone around you. Think about the last time someone hurt you, really hurt you. It probably was not a stranger. It was not someone you feared. It was someone you chose, someone you opened the door for, someone you defended when others had doubts. You gave that person access to your inner world, your plans, your fears, your softness. And at some point, something shifted. Maybe slowly, maybe all at once. But they used what you gave them, not always against you with violence, sometimes just with silence, sometimes with a small betrayal dressed up as an accident, sometimes with a smile that came just a little too quickly when things went wrong for you. Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire on earth. He commanded armies and nations. And still, his most difficult battles were not fought on open ground. They were fought in rooms with people he trusted, advisors who whispered the wrong things, allies who had their own agendas, people who wore loyalty like a costume. He watched it all with open eyes, not with bitterness, with clarity. And clarity is the thing most people never develop because the pain of betrayal does something strange to the human mind. It either hardens you into someone who trusts no one, or it softens you into someone who keeps trusting the wrong people. Both are traps. Marcus found a third way. He called it seeing people as they actually are, not as you need them to be. Here is the brutal truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Most people in your life are not against you, but they are not fully for you either. They exist somewhere in the middle. They support you when it costs them nothing. They celebrate you when your success does not threaten theirs. They stay loyal until staying loyal becomes inconvenient. And the moment your rise starts to outpace theirs, or your pain starts to demand too much from them, or your confidence stops needing their approval, something changes in them. A coldness enters the room, a distance you cannot quite name, a shift in the energy that you feel before you can explain it. You have felt this. You know exactly what this feels like. That moment when you realize that someone you thought was in your corner has quietly moved. Not to the other side, just far enough away that they are no longer behind you. Marcus Aurelius wrote about this pattern with painful honesty. He did not dramatize it. He did not rage against it. He simply named it. He said that people act according to their own nature, just as fire burns and water flows. The person who smiles and betrays is not a monster. They are simply following the logic of their own fear, their own envy, their own need. Understanding this does not mean excusing it. It means you stop being shocked by it. And when you stop being shocked by betrayal, you stop being destroyed by it. There is a particular kind of person you need to understand. They are not your enemy. They never announce themselves as a threat. They are the people who love you most when you are struggling. They are warm, present, and generous when your life is smaller than theirs. They give advice freely when you are lost. They check in often when you are at your lowest. But watch what happens when you start to rise. Watch how the advice becomes less frequent. Watch how the check-ins become shorter. Watch how their celebration of your wins carries just a fraction too much effort, just a note too high, like someone performing happiness rather than feeling it. That performance is the tell. That is the thing Marcus Aurelius trained himself to see. He understood that envy does not always announce itself with cruelty. Sometimes it announces itself with excessive praise. Sometimes it looks like support that subtly steers you towards smaller choices. Sometimes it sits quietly in the room and says nothing while you make a decision that does not serve you, because a part of it wanted to see what would happen. Now stop and ask yourself this. Who in your life gets genuinely, visibly, uncomplicatedly happy when something great happens to you? Not who says the right words, who actually lights up. That list is probably shorter than you want it to be, and that is not a tragedy. That is just the truth. Most people are carrying their own weight of comparison, insecurity, and quiet longing. It does not make them evil. but it does mean they cannot always carry your joy alongside their own. Marcus Aurelius chose to work with this truth rather than against it. He did not become a cynic. He did not build walls. He continued to act with generosity, with openness, with discipline. But he stopped giving his inner world to people who had not earned it. He stopped performing vulnerability for an audience that was watching for weakness. He learned the difference between being open and being exposed. There is a difference. Being open means you are willing to connect, to share, to be seen by the right people. Being exposed means you have handed the most tender parts of yourself to people who have not shown they can hold them carefully. Most people confuse the two. They call exposure vulnerability. They mistake oversharing for depth. And then they wonder why they keep getting hurt by the same type of person, in different faces, across different years. The lesson Marcus kept returning to was this: protect your inner world, not with coldness, but with discernment. Let people show you who they are over time, not who they claim to be in a single conversation. Do not be moved by grand gestures. Be moved by consistent, quiet, unglamorous loyalty. The person who shows up when there is nothing to gain from showing up. That is the one. Everyone else is still being evaluated by their own actions, whether you realize it or not. And here is the layer that most wisdom channels will not tell you. Sometimes the person you need to stop trusting blindly is not someone else. Sometimes it is a version of yourself. The version that keeps hoping someone will change. The version that re-explains your worth to people who already decided not to see it. The version that stays in rooms where you are tolerated, not valued, because leaving feels like giving up. Marcus Aurelius said something that cuts deep when you really sit with it. He said that the first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. Not what you wish they were, not what they used to be. What they are right now, in this moment, with clear eyes. Looking at the people around you with clear eyes is one of the hardest and most necessary things you will ever do. Because clarity requires you to grieve. It requires you to admit that someone you love is not capable of loving you back in the way you need. It requires you to stop making excuses for repeated patterns. It requires you to value your own peace more than you value the comfort of a familiar relationship that no longer serves you. This is not bitterness. This is not cynicism. This is what Marcus Aurelius called living according to nature. The nature of people, the nature of loyalty, the nature of what real trust actually looks like when it is tested by time, by success, by hardship, by silence. So let this be the thing you carry from here. Not paranoia, not distance, not a wall. Carry discernment. Let people earn depth. Let time do the revealing. Watch behavior, not words. Watch who celebrates you when it costs them something. Watch who tells you hard truths with kindness. Watch who stays quiet rather than performing. And the people who pass that test, hold them close and hold them carefully. Because that kind of person is rare. Everyone else, you can still be kind to them. You can still be fair. You can still wish them well from a place of genuine humanity. But you do not owe them your inner world. You do not owe them your plans, your fears, your softest places. Some doors should stay closed, not out of coldness, out of wisdom. Marcus Aurelius trusted carefully and ruled an empire. He never stopped being human. He never stopped caring. But he understood something that most people spend a lifetime learning too late. The people who are truly for you will show you that without being asked. And the people who are not, they will show you that too. The only question is whether you are willing to believe what you see.